These aren't your average police cars. They're the newest additions to Dubai Police Force fleet and include a Ferrari, Lamborghini, Bentley and a Mercedes. It seems not even the authorities can escape the love of fast cars here. But the combination of supercars and fast roads in the Gulf has its consequences. You can't go more than a few days without reading another headline about yet another accident. On average, about 1.3 million people die on the world's roads every year at a cost of around $500 billion. Now, it's hard to come across accurate statistics for this part of the world, but on average, road traffic accidents can cost an economy as much as 3% of a country's GDP. In countries like the UK, the rate of fatal road traffic accidents is fewer than 4 in every 100,000 people. Compare that with Oman, which has some of the most dangerous roads in the region. It has nearly 10 times as many deaths. Saudi is still very high at nearly 25 deaths for every 100,000 people. The UAE, by regional standards, is pretty low, but still 4 times that of the most developed countries. Abu Dhabi has seen a big drop in accidents in recent years. Speed cameras are being installed and road calming schemes introduced. Majed is the man in charge of making the roads here safer.
The 3 elements for road safety is the most important to improve the safety of the city. It's engineering, education and enforcement. Each and every element is playing a big role. From engineering side, upgrading or updating the standards of the roads to ensure that the drivers will not be allowed to speed more than the speed limit of the road.
But while huge sums of money are being poured into engineering, it's the education and enforcement that are playing catch-up. Road traffic accidents are the leading cause of death for young people here, especially young men. And it's also the group of people who are the most active in the workforce. So in a region that has a youthful population, that's an added incentive to keep the rate down. Which is why children in the country are being targeted at a young age. Roshanara runs a business to help promote road safety, and she depends on sponsorship from the private sector. This is a road safety awareness class in Dubai, funded by oil company Total.
The driving styles are quite different, and so we tend to see a lot of people not respecting road rules. We have this campaign going in schools, and we've educated 15,000 children so far. And we know for a fact that these little kids go back home and tell their parents, we've got to be seated at the back, we've got to wear a seat belt, don't use a mobile phone while driving. So so far it's been a big success.
But that still leaves enforcement. And while children are advising their parents to put down their phone and slow down, the problem persists. So what's the answer?
One needs to look at this closely to see really where the investment needs to go. There are very good roads in the Gulf. They're engineering them to a high standard. There's a very high quality of the vehicle fleet because they're new vehicles and they meet global standards for safety. The behaviours are something you have to look at, the speed, the wearing of safety belts, the use of child restraints. There's areas like that you need to be looking at, seeing whether maybe more needs to be done. And my feeling is it's essentially, in most countries, it's a deep institutional issue. You have to look at, well, who's responsible for this, who's accountable for the performance, how are they going about managing the whole array of road safety initiatives that you have to bring in across sectors to achieve the levels of safety that the best countries in the world are achieving.
Whether it's spending on a supercar or a go-kart for the kids, the money's not a problem here in the Gulf. But unless driving habits are changed and authorities step up to the challenge of making roads safer, this region will remain firmly in second gear when it comes to cutting down both the human and economic costs of road accidents.